Yeah, so quick backstory. We're a cold email or a cold outreach agency, so we do both cold email and LinkedIn. One of our clients wanted to do LinkedIn outreach specifically, and normally we do a lot of like automated LinkedIn outreach through platforms like Dripify as an example. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to test the manual side of things to not only get better targeting, but then also like kind of stay under LinkedIn's like we're kind of stay under LinkedIn's radar just because they can be a little strict with automation and everything like that. So pretty much what we needed is we needed someone that could come in and send connection requests on behalf of our client. And then also, once a lead actually accepts that connection request, go ahead and actually send them a cold message to convert them from a lead into appointment. Which is why I wanted to work with you guys because, like, internally, we didn't really have anyone on our team that could do that. The client didn't want to do that either, so we just needed someone that could come in and kind of take care of that part for us without like paying a fortune for it.
Oh, okay. So I have a lot more context now. Yeah, that's interesting. And it's really great that you consider that. I wouldn't recommend like things that would cause, LinkedIn to get you suspended. In fact, my account got suspended. I wish I'd done what you did. So so this client, was it a new client when you hired the setter, or you'd already been working together before you then thought of hiring the setter?
Yeah, we've been working with that client mostly on cold email, but we really wanted to double down on the LinkedIn side of things. Just because with cold email, I found that we were really maxing out our market. She specifically works with consultants and we're running about 1,000 emails per day. So there's really a limit to just how many people you could reach out to. Like obviously we could re-email them every like 2, 3 months, but if we do that too many times, we're going to run into market fatigue. So we wanted to expand to LinkedIn. That way we can hit an entirely new audience that we might not have been able to hit on cold email, which is why I wanted to kind of bring you guys in for that too. So
Interesting. So, before this, did you try any other thing before this? Before you considered, okay, let me get someone like a setter who is going to be able to send connection requests and then send personalized
yeah,
DMs, all that. So, what did you try?
I've worked with someone before. Great experience and everything like that. Super smart people. It's just the person they placed for us just wasn't really that competent. Like numbers weren't being tracked, follow-ups weren't being done, the right amount of volume wasn't being done. Sometimes they'd miss days, and it was just like super inconsistent, and we couldn't really rely on them. Which
Oh,
is why I
okay.
think we need to switch from there.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So when you made the switch, was it like when you decided to hire a setter from us, what was the difference what was the big difference compared to who you hired earlier? And you just listed some things like okay, they were inconsistent overall. So what was the big difference when you started working with this setter?
Yeah, so we noticed an increase in both inputs, like the actual work being done, with higher quality and more volume being done, but then also the results went up. So what happened was, one, we were sending out a lot more volume. Like with cold outreach, it's definitely like obviously quality needs to be there, but it's definitely a numbers game. So we saw that the setter you placed was consistently hitting 200 connection requests per week, and on top of that, also doing in-mails, right? And the volume was super consistent. We were making hundreds of touch points per week, and there was never really a period where volume went down. And anytime there was any issues, he'd immediately notify us rather than just like letting the issue play out. I would say the second thing is data tracking is a huge, really important piece for us. That way we can look at the data, see where the bottlenecks are, optimize, and just improve the system even further. Our old setter was very inconsistent with data. Like sometimes it would be updated, sometimes it wouldn't be. Versus with the setter you place for us, he's always on top of it. So every single week, my team can look at the data and know exactly what's broken and what we can fix. And that's just helped us increase the results even more, which I'll mention in a bit. I would say the third part is just follow-ups. Like a lot of setters, what they'll do is they'll send out like the initial messages and everything like that and call it a day. But what they don't understand is that people don't just respond on the first message, especially if it's cold outreach. They need to be followed up with very frequently. And I think the setter you placed did a really good job of that, versus the old setter we had would maybe follow up with people like every 3 weeks. And they would actually only follow up with leads when I told them to do so, versus the setter you placed like takes action on what actually works without much direction. And just from that, and within just like I think like 1 or 2 months of working with you, from LinkedIn alone, I think we're closing now a couple deals per month at $12,000 a pop. So you guys added multi 5 figures per month to our clients' revenue, which we got a nice cut out as well, which was great. Just with you placing the right person.
That's fantastic. Being honest, I didn't know these numbers earlier. So what you mentioned now, okay, your client charges 5 figures like per deal, like is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah. Our client charges 12,000.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know those were the numbers. So if you were to put in numbers, since you've mentioned a couple things now, like how much time and money has this saved you overall?
Well, it's a ton of money. Like our client's making a ton of money. We're getting a very nice performance share out of that too, which has been great. And we probably saved hours and hours per week of just going back and forth with leads and sending connection requests and messages and doing all of that stuff, and then tracking all the metrics too. So we saved so much time. But then even on top of that, just like the bandwidth of managing all of it. Like now that we have someone that's handling the LinkedIn side and doing it really well, my team can now just focus on the actual high level strategy piece of it, because now that we have a good operator, we can now just focus on high level. And then our client as well, all she does now is just take sales calls and fulfill clients, and she doesn't need to do anything else, which is just raise the quality of our service too. And she like really appreciates that, like we're now able to take care of the entire process until a meeting is booked, and then she can just do what she does best, which is closing deals and selling clients.
Oh, that's really fantastic. So I'm curious, what exactly is she saying? What are the things she's saying about your whole service overall? Like, how happy is she? What are the exact words she's saying?
Well, I'll just say this. We got her up to about $1 million a year run rate in about 12 months.
Dang,
And
that's
LinkedIn was a huge part of that. So she's very happy. No, like she loves us. Like she even told us like recently that like she hopes that she can work with us forever. Like the service has been that good. And I don't think we'd be getting the type of results we're getting right now if it wasn't for the person you placed.
great.
We'd be very limited.
Yeah, awesome. That's really good to hear. So, if you were to recommend us to a different agency, what would you say?
I would say that there's a lot of people that do what you guys do in terms of recruiting and everything like that, but there's so few people that are actually good at it. Most people are dog shit, and I've tried them, or they charge just like ridiculously high prices. Like we talked to a person that was charging like $5,000 for a placement, which was like nuts. And we one of our clients actually paid for one of those services. They did a whole month's worth of interviews, and like all the candidates they brought us were just crap, right? So it was just a bunch of burnt money. No one was actually hired from that service at all. I would say if you're an agency that wants to work with these guys, I would just do it. Like, there's very few people that are actually good at what they do, and I think these guys are probably one of the best in the industry. And like, it's not only just placing the right talent, but like, not only did our effectiveness increase, but like we ROI'd their service by like 50x in just like 30 to 60 days. So yeah, I mean, I don't know any other recruiting firm that will get you remotely close to any of those results. So yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, I think we work with ghostwriting agency owners like Logan Gott. We also had someone else. He also mentioned something. He also mentioned something along the lines of that they worked with different recruitment agency owner. Like the price was like 4 or 5 times what I quoted. Then they got like five. They were on it for like a month or two, bringing in
Yeah.
different candidates. Okay, try this, try that, and then nothing. So for us now, I think so the first candidate, I gave him one candidate, and that was the perfect fit, and he was really happy with like he put the candidate on the test, and that he was really happy that just one candidate. So for you, how many candidates do you get before getting the right one from us?
Oh man, from you guys specifically?
Yeah.
It took about two people. We brought on one guy. You kind of agreed that he wasn't the best, but then we quickly brought in another one. But what I like was that that happened within 2 weeks. Like obviously, like, and this is for any agency owner, like watching this, like even for your guys' own services, like things aren't going to work the first shot, and that's okay. Like we weren't really expecting to nail the first candidate the second we started working with you. But what I like is that instead of it taking like 3 months and $10,000 down the drain, like what a lot of these other recruitment like firms were saying, uh, it was like a fraction of that cost, and you had the right candidate placed within like 2 weeks. And then from there, the weeks after, like we made all of our money back and more.
Yeah,
So
that's
I like I didn't mind that like the first candidate wasn't the best, right? I think that once we got more data from that first candidate, I really like that you guys took that data, found the actual right person, plugged them in. It didn't cost us a fortune at all, and like we were making money from that almost like instantly.
that's really great to hear. I'm pleased to hear that. So what I was going to ask, okay, yeah. So I mean, I know you've said a bunch of good things about the whole service so far, but I would say we're still working on improving the whole thing. We still trying to get a ton of even better people, lots more qualified ones, and in such a way such that even there was a wrong fit. We had one wrong fit before you then got like a very good one. So those are some things we're still trying to fix. We wouldn't say okay we're 100% at everything yet. So looking at the whole service overall, though you've said a bunch of good things which I really appreciate from you, what would you say uh what would you say we can still do better compared to what you have now?
Yeah, no, man, I think the service was pretty flawless. Like the only thing I would say is I mean, just like once we do, like I wish that there was more of like an onboarding process where like it would have just been like, hey, like here's like a job description template, fill this out, and then we'll use this to kind of go ahead and find candidates versus me just giving my own, which like at the time wasn't, I was kind of just rushing it to be honest. So a lot of that was on me. No, man, I think that's the only part of it that I wish was done. Everything else was really, really good. Like I think maybe like sometimes I just had to like maybe like QA check this better, right? Just a little bit where I was like, hey man, I don't like how you said the message here. I would say it like this. But again, like that's mostly up to me just because we didn't really have all the right SOPs in place because we didn't think we needed them when we brought them in. The setter you actually placed barely needed any SOPs to perform at an extremely high level. So yeah, I mean, I think it was very, very flawless. I just think that initial part of the onboarding would have been really, really good too. So
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's a good one, and that's something I'll start working on as soon as possible. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that. So yeah, that's it. So based on all you've shared so far, would you like more setters? Like since you've gotten a very good experience with the first one, is this something you see yourself still taking on more setters to help with your clients?
yeah, as we expand our clients more manual outreach, we'll definitely have to chat about it. Even for this existing client, we're about to start buying up more LinkedIn accounts. And then as this current setter's capacity kind of maxes out, I'm sure we're going to need a lot more ones to just manage all those LinkedIn accounts. And I think we're just going to scale this business to the moon just off the setters we're going to place for us.
Oh, that's interesting. I really like the results you're getting from clients. I mean, I've seen the insides of some agencies that do something similar to you. And being honest, I wouldn't say okay, they're doing like they only a few are doing like these numbers. So it's really fantastic what you're doing as well. I have to compliment that.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. So one more thing. Okay, so since you run a lead agency, you've grown your own agency real quick, and you're doing some good numbers. So I just want to, I mean, this is going to be the final thing. I just want you to give like some final notes to anyone who is going to be watching this. I'm going to be uploading this on YouTube. I can do that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to be uploading this on YouTube. So do you have any words? Do you have anything you'd like to share? It could be a quick one.
Yeah, like I said, if you're an agency owner and you absolutely hate money, I wouldn't work with these guys. That's my final.
Yeah, I love that.